So I'm really excited to do this video because I feel like it will help a lot of people, because I've noticed a struggle with dealing with failure of all kinds, and I personally struggled so much with dealing with failure. So before going deeply into our conversation, what really is failure? So, a generic definition to what failure is the inability to reach a standard or to execute a desired goal or have a desired outcome. Reasons why people might fail might be something like lack of skill or knowledge in a particular area where they're meant to deliver. Another is not being fully prepared. You might know something, or let's say you're called to present or do something and you're not prepared. Yes, you could fail in that. And then also, self doubt and the fear of failure is also a reason why a person might fail, which I have loads of experiences just on that basis. Another reason why someone might fail is also due to external circumstances. There are some things that are beyond your control. So we have failures like not achieving a goal that you set for yourself, maybe losing a job or failing at a project that was entrusted to you. Then we have things like failing at a business. I think it's right that we understand that failure is an event and it's not a reflection of your identity or your worth. Before, I used to believe that when I failed at something, it just meant that my identity was the one that showed that, I'm not good for this, I'm not fit for this. So immediately, like, my identity is just shaken, right? And that's the very wrong basis. Failure is an event. It's not an evidence of your identity. And it's no excuse to maybe things like lack of knowledge or um I'm looking for a good word. It's not an excuse for laziness. Whatever you might have failed at, that applies to the points that will be made. I think one of the first steps that I would say is to accept that you failed and then process it and understand why you failed or what caused the failure, because sometimes it might not be your fault. It might be due to an external circumstance that was beyond your control. So it's important to analyze why. Don't be the kind of person that fails and then they're like, oh my God, it's all my fault. You don't even check. You just want to move past that. The thing with unprocessed events is that it leaves you with wrong mindsets. Because sometimes it might not even be your fault, like the reason why you failed, but you didn't process it, you didn't analyze it, and you just believed that it was all your fault, and then you just went like that. The next time an opportunity comes, maybe for you to handle that kind of thing, you will back off because you don't understand what happened that made it go wrong. Then let's say you actually understand why and it might have been your fault. What do you do then? Just make sure that if it's something that you're going to be given another shot at, that it doesn't repeat itself. I sing, yeah, and yesterday I sang in church and it wasn't great. No, it wasn't great at all. And yes, I did my analysis and there were some external circumstances, and of course there were also some personal reasons why I didn't do as well as I'm supposed to. And so I wanted to cry, but the tears didn't come. Which is a sign of growth, because before, oh my goodness, if I failed at something, no, you are not gonna see me. Like, I would literally lose my mind. During the time that you were analyzing why you must have failed at something, you could also ask for feedback. Because most times when we fail, it's usually because we're wondering what are people gonna say. If it was just you in your world and you failed at something, you're gonna move on. There's just this judgment and shame that comes from failing. For instance, when you do things at home by yourself, that there's nobody watching you, maybe you dropped a book or you broke a glass cup, be like, all right, let me just take it one side. But then if you're in the public, it's like, oh my God, you first then look at the number of eyes that are on you. So literally, failure sometimes is just because of the fear of judgment, right? You must not fail at something before you begin to implement maybe the steps or the practical ways that are given in this video. And the reason why I'm saying it is because sometimes we just don't have enough resilience in our minds, right? Because it can be challenging persevering. Like, persevering is really challenging. So if you're the kind of person that easily gives up, it's something that you will need to build over time, right? So that in moments when you have to now deal with failure, because everyone is going to deal with failure in one or two ways, minor or major, you're going to have to process it. So don't wait for the time that you fail before you begin to say, okay, let me watch a video on how to deal with failure. Make sure that you're building your emotional resiliency. That's an attitude that is really firm, that despite what is happening, you won't let in on your feelings. You won't let in on negative feelings. Like, it won't stop you. So I also say that for me, and how I used to deal with failure was because growing up, I kind of felt like I had to prove my worth by the successes that I have, or maybe the accomplishments that I'm able to get. And I'm still digging deep into my past to understand why I'm like that. But growing up, I now realize that I set a lot of high standards, and when I don't meet it, like, my identity for that season is really down. Like, I stop believing in my true worth and potential if I fail at something. And that's a very wrong basis, because your identity is not based on the things that you do, really. It's very much on who you are, even though the things you do matter a lot. What you do is just a result of what you've exposed yourself to, like what you've invested your time into doing. After doing an analysis of the reasons why you failed, and it's because you are not skillful enough, just give yourself to developing that skill, right? Don't just give up and feel like, okay, this isn't for me. How much time, how much resources have you put into developing that particular area? So one of the ways that I deal faster with failure is that I don't process it alone. I do it with my mentors or my friends. Like, I literally talk to someone about it. Like, okay, this is what I'm facing. This is what I failed at. And I can't, like, I don't have enough emotional strength to analyze it. So can you do it with me? It works like magic. If you're the type of person that is not strong enough to, handle it, then I think you should reach out on my plantain. So this isn't supposed to be any motivational video. It's just real life. Also, let me not forget to add that the best place to even deal with this is at the place of prayer. I am a firm believer that God gives people strength. Some things that I feel that I literally had to lock myself and just pray to God to strengthen me, and then you begin to see that he energizes you to overcome that moving past that circumstance, and you can look forward. All right, so if you're in the category of people who might have suffered a lot mentally, I just want you to know that you are not alone in this. You have prayers, you have my prayers, and you have my well wishes. And if you could reach out to me, if you don't have anyone around you that you can talk to, you could do well to check for my social media handles. I want to help you. I want to hear from you. I want to make sure that you are not living life feeling limited just because of a circumstance. I just want to make sure that you're processing everything well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I want to hear from you, so make sure you drop your comments. What has been your experience in dealing with failure? Maybe your experience and how you dealt with failure wasn't captured in this video. Please drop it in the comments. It might help someone.